I just don't.
I don't think we have any speakers. I don't want to speak
I call to order this December 10th meeting of the North Allegheny School Board. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we have our calendar review. We have our meeting this evening where we will have the NA Foundation annual report. Our meetings in January are on the 7th, our work session where we will have our balanced scorecard report and our auditor bond report. And then on January 21st, we will have our regular meeting. Next, we will move over to Dr. Highland for our reports this evening.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Warner. It is an honor and a pleasure to introduce Mr. Joe Bowerly from the foundation, who will give the annual report for this year. Mr. Bowerly.
Thank you, everyone. Happy to be here on this rainy / icy night. Who has the? Okay. So we're here. The foundation pursues its mission through three main activities: grant making, support district goals, providing scholarships to outstanding graduating seniors, and building connections with our community, parents, alumni, and business leaders. Our impact, and this goes back, much like you, we run on a fiscal year of July 1 to June 30th. So our impact was quite significant this year. We gave out over $175,000 in grants to schools and teachers, more than $41,000 in scholarships to seniors, and $5,700 in angel funds for students in need. That was over $222,600 last year. So comparing that to the year before, I mean, it's substantial. I mean, we gave out $120,000 more roughly. There was a real effort with the trustees that we need to do more, and we continue to try to do more, and we want to do even more next year, which we're on pace to go in front of this again. So just to kind of, some of the grants, some of you were on the board and approved these, some of you weren't, but it's kind of everything. STEAM initiatives, business simulations, sensory materials, art improvements, and adaptive bikes are just some of them. I think the most notable thing is we launched the facilities for the future grant last year, and we're going to give $100,000 for 2 sand volleyball courts at senior high that'll be used by phys ed classes, clubs, community, and the athletic department. Moving on to scholarships, we have 5 annual scholarships: the extra effort, the excellence in service, the excellence in leadership, excellence in arts, and excellence in academics. Those are 100% controlled. We fund them, we pick them, we go through the whole process. Moving on to the other scholarships. This is interesting because we are kind of reconsidering how these other scholarships are handled. They've become a challenge to us and a challenge to the district. We can't get kids to apply for them. Counselors can't get kids to apply for them, and there's a process. So we gave out, I think, $20,000 of the scholarship money were these kind of third-party ones. We're going to adjust that going forward. It's probably a 2-year plan to kind of get that cleaned up. But all in all, it's okay. The Distinguished Alumni, every January we have an event where we honor 5 to 8 distinguished alumni in arts, business, government, education, medicine, science, as well as like Spirit of NA and a young awardee. Moving on, we have our main 4 events: the Golf Classic, the Trick or Trot, the Distinguished Alumni Gala, and the Taste of NA. There's our dates for the coming year, with Taste of NA is still waiting to have it arranged with Sorgels. So moving on to supporting the foundation, ETIC, employee giving, honor someone special, and individual giving. I mean, it's pretty straightforward there. We continue to find new donors, and we're hoping to find a lot more new donors. Other than that, thank you. We're hoping to have another banner year in the foundation. Time for questions.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Byerly. Mrs. Blackburn.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. So one thing that I think is really significant that I've noticed over the years is we have made a huge, huge jump in the amount of monies that we're able to give to these rewarding different avenues that you went over. And I think it would be really interesting to have a slide next year that shows what the foundation earned, just for the past 10 years, each year, what the net earnings was. Because one thing that I noticed years ago when I was on the board is the net profits were actually more like this big, and now they're huge. So amazing job that everybody has done. It is truly a great, great thing for our district. And we thank you for that, because it's going really well. And I've noted that the net profits have gone up just tremendously in the past couple of years.
I think we have to stitch some of the history together, but we believe with the grant cycle that we just completed that went over $1 million for the history of the foundation in grants.
I would believe that. So a group near and dear to my heart, and thank you for your work. I appreciate it, and the district appreciates it. Thank you.
Anyone? Dr. Gibbs.
Yes, thank you for a great report. I have a question about these third-party scholarship opportunities. Could you just tell us a little bit about how they happen? Like the third party contacts the foundation, says I'd like to, or do you solicit from third parties? Or how does that work?
We do not solicit. They've come to us. Often it's been memorial scholarships or people that don't necessarily have a 501c3. The struggle has become that there was no continuity in how they were administered. There were some of them that they pick it, they give the money to us, we just turn around and give the money out. There's some that's in between. So there's a lot of time invested in those dozen or so third-party scholarships that we just need to clean up. We spend an incredible amount of time. There's redactions. There's a lot that goes into it, and we've made a conscious effort as trustees as a whole that we're trying to get away from things that we fund that are for one student, one time. We are looking for things like the 3D printers at NAI or the sand volleyball court that it's going to benefit hundreds and hundreds of kids for years and decades. So we're trying to amplify our give on bigger things that affect more kids. So, and it's a delicate process, I will say that. We've just started down the path of trying to iron those third-party scholarships out. It's a challenge.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions or comments on this report? Seeing none, thank you so much, Mr. Byerly, for your work with the foundation, and thank you to all your trustees. Okay, now we move on to speakers on voting items. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on a voting item? Okay, seeing none.
Is there anyone in
Is there
there?
any- Yeah, I can barely see our audience member because of the podium. But we will move on to the approval of the minutes. Ms. Hardy.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. This month, the board will vote on approving the minutes for the November 12th, 2025 combined meeting, and I so move.
Second.
Any questions or comments on the minutes? Okay, we are ready for the vote.
The vote is open. The vote has closed and passes with 6 ayes and 3 abstentions by our new board members who are not in attendance.
Okay, we move on to our student activities report. Ms. Pagnato and Ms. Jin.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. The NAFCCLA prepared and donated a chicken parmesan dinner to the Genesis House of Pittsburgh to support unhoused pregnant women while also planning for their upcoming Parents' Night Out fundraiser on December 5th and their annual fashion show on March 28th. In December, the club will host a Parents' Night Out to raise funds for attending the state conference, participate in Nash Winter Wonderland's Hallway decorating event, and continue developing their projects for the state leadership conference as they begin preparing for March's state competition. In November, AFJROTC's 3-position air rifle team submitted their mail-in targets for evaluation, with hopes of qualifying for the regional tournament in Alabama. 10 cadets participated in this competition. Additionally, 3 cadets, Elizabeth Franklin, Finnegan Iovino, and Harrison McMorrow, applied for the Air Force Academy, with Franklin and McMorrow also applying to the Naval Academy. All 3 completed interviews with both Pennsylvania senators' offices and the staff of U.S. Representative Chris DeLuzio. In December, AFJROTC will focus on service by supporting 2 community events aligned with their core values of service before self. Cadets will assist Wounded Warrior Project in its Holiday Spirit giveaway on December 11th, and they will participate in Wreaths Across America at the Cemetery of the Alleghenies on December 13th.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. In November, the NAI Interact Club created numerous seasonal cards for veterans, aiming to spread positivity and holiday cheer while showing appreciation for their service. The club's goal was to foster connection within the community and honor those who have served. This month, members are planning to make decorations such as mini Christmas trees for Meals on Wheels, a local program dedicated to providing nutritious meals and social contact to homebound seniors and others who are unable to shop or cook for themselves. This year, NAI Spring Play will be Puffs, a hilarious twist on J.K. Rowling's world of Harry Potter. The play tells Harry's story from the perspective of several Hufflepuff students and brilliantly blends humor with the house's signature kindness, warmth, and loyalty. Auditions were held on December 4th, and casting will be finalized before the end of the month. The cast will also begin their first rehearsals before winter break. Everyone involved is super excited to get started.
Thank you both for the report. Next, we have Ms. Hardy and the curriculum report.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. This month, there are 2 items for board consideration and 1 information-only item in the curriculum report. Items for board action are approving the course changes to the 2026-2027 program of studies and approving students' to participate in the Pennsylvania FCCLA State Leadership Conference. And I so move.
Any questions or comments on the curriculum report? Seeing none, we are ready for the vote. Ms. Harding.
The vote is open.
I'll just share some information about the information-only item. It details the student-teacher requests for the spring semester. Thank you, Mrs. Warner.
Thank you.
The vote is closed and all items passed unanimously.
Mr. Winiger, the finance report.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. This evening, we have 3 items for board action and 2 information-only items. The 3 actionable items are the accounts payable list, the student expenditures for October 2025, and the budget transfers, and I so move.
Second.
Any questions or comments on the finance report? Mrs. Blackburn.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. I'll be abstaining from item number 1, please.
And I will also be abstaining from item number 1.
Thank you both. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we're ready for the vote.
Thank you. And while we prepare for the vote, the information-only item, well, there's 2, but the one of note is the November forecast, which there is no significant change. We're still projecting a $600,000 overrun right now, but there are some favorable items that have popped up in this month's report. So hopefully we can continue trending in the positive direction.
And the other information only item.
Oh, did I miss it? Sorry. And the other information only item is the ending cash balance for November 30th.
Thank you.
The vote did close and passed unanimously with Mr. Reniger and Mrs. Blackburn abstaining from number 1.
The human resources report, Dr. Gibbs.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. There are 8 items for board action this month in the Human Resources Report. Resignations, 2 appointments, 3 wage and status changes, 4 leaves of absence, 5 professional contracts, 6 honorary and club activities, 7 supplemental contracts, and 8, the appointment of consultant Susan Bellabach to serve as interim principal at Hozak Elementary. And I so move.
Second.
Any questions or comments on the human resources report? Dr. Gibbs.
Yes, I just want to publicly say how lucky we are and how grateful we are that Mrs. Bellabach was willing and able to come out of retirement in order to help us out by serving as our interim principal. She had 21 years of experience as principal at Peebles and over 30 years experience in education. And we are extremely fortunate that she's willing to do that for us.
Thank you, Dr. Gibbs. Anyone else? Okay, we are ready for the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed and passes unanimously.
Okay, next we have the property and supplies report. Mrs. Light.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. We have 1 item for board action in the property and supplies report, the Whole Kids Foundation Garden Grant, and I so move.
Second.
Any questions or comments on the property and supplies report? Seeing none, we're ready for the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed and the item passes unanimously.
Okay. Mrs. Blackburn, the student services report.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. We have 1 item up to vote on this month, the AIU Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services Agreement, and I so move that item.
Second.
Any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, we're ready for the vote.
The vote is open.
And for information only, we have a student teaching request for special education.
The vote has closed and the item passes unanimously.
Dr. Shaw, the Technology Services Report.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. We have one item for board action this month. We seek approval for the Parchment Award System as the official alumni transcript delivery system. And I so move.
Second.
Any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, we're ready for the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed and the item passes unanimously.
Dr. Hyland, the Superintendent's Report.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Warner. We have one item for board consideration this month. It's the professional seminars and professional development.
I will move that item.
Second.
Any questions or comments on this report? All right, seeing none, we're ready for the vote.
The vote is open.
The information items for this month are first read of policy 606, first read of policy 607, first read for 608, first read for 619, and first read for policy 620.
The vote closed and the item passed unanimously.
Okay. Now we move on to special reports by the board. Our legal counsel will provide an electronic report. And then we'll move on to Mrs. Blackburn with the Citizens Advisory Committee report and the A.W. Beatty Career Center report.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. I just was made in charge of the Citizens Advisory Committee, so we haven't had a meeting yet. Our first meeting will be January 12th at 6 p.m. right here. So I'm looking forward to that meeting and seeing everyone, and I invite anyone from the public to attend, and it should be a great meeting. The A.W. Beatty Career Center, we discussed our budget for the next year. We're looking at it just very preliminarily, and everything is going very well at the A.W. Beatty Career Center. Thank you. That concludes my reports.
Thank you, Mrs. Blackburn. Mrs. Thays, the North Allegheny Foundation report and the legislative report.
Thank you, Mrs. Warner. Dr. Adams and I attended our first meeting with the NA Foundation yesterday. It was their annual holiday gathering. And while this was not a formal meeting, it provided the opportunity for us to meet with many of the trustees. Of note, the NA Foundation will hold their North Allegheny Distinguished Alumni Gala on January 22nd at the Holy Trinity Center in McCandless Crossing. Tickets and sponsorship opportunities are available online, which can be accessed through the North Allegheny main website. And in terms of a legislative update report, the state has passed the 2025-26 budget and includes some of the largest K-12 funding increases in years. Statewide, the budget adds $565 million in adequacy funding, $105 million increase to basic education funding, and $40 million more in special education. Beyond these core increases, the budget invests in school facilities, including a new Solar for Schools program, as well as expanding mental health, safety, and student support funding. A major change this year is the cyber charter reform. The new funding formula is expected to reduce district tuition payments statewide. If North Allegheny students attend cyber charter schools, we could see meaningful savings. New statewide funding pools for facilities, sustainability projects, mental health supports, and safety initiatives also create grant opportunities within the district that we can pursue and advance ongoing priorities. Overall, while the largest gains go to the most underfunded districts, North Allegheny stands to benefit from the increased state funding, potential cyber charter savings, and access to the new grants, strengthening our financial position as we plan for the years ahead. The additional legislative items of interest include educator workforce and certification reform, statewide literacy and reading requirements, cyber charter school oversight reform, and school safety and weapon incident notification requirements. Full summaries have been included in the meeting minutes for further review.
Thank you, Mrs. Thays. That concludes our special reports. So now we will move on to speakers on non-voting items. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for up to 2 minutes on any topic? Okay. Seeing no takers, we'll move on to our closing items. Does anyone have any announcements or reminders? Mrs. Blackburn?
Thank you, Mrs. Warren. I just wanted to mention one legislative thing that sort of occurred in between our two different people giving our reports. So they did have a bill passed that would require school districts to inform parents or guardians about any incidents where a weapon is brought to school grounds or any school-related activity. And so that's a little bit different than before because we're going to have to send out a notice for anything, even if it's something really minor. And it's probably going to have our parents getting overly worried because they're suddenly going to be getting some notices that they aren't used to getting. And so we don't want to have everybody be in a panic when they get some of these. It could happen, and never, everybody better really watch it, of course, but it's just a new legislation that even if it was a person accidentally had their Swiss Army knife in their backpack because they were with the Boy Scouts at the Jamboree, well, now you'll be sending out a notice to every parent that a weapon was found on someone. So we just want to make people aware that they may be getting some more notices than they had in previous years.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Blackburn. Anyone else? All right. Seeing none, we're adjourned.